Hello and welcome to another Football Manager 2015 video. I'm looking to do something a little bit different today. I'm not going to bother with a tutorial video or anything like that. I thought I'd just give you guys a look at how my game is currently going, because I do a lot of tips videos and all that kind of stuff, but I've never actually shown you a proper look to any of my games. So for all you guys know, I could be terrible at the game and I'm just winging it. So I thought I'd give you a look. I am currently in my, I'm not even shortlisted for Manager of the Year. I'm in my 4th season. Well, I've just finished my 4th season. I'm currently, as you can see, manager of Marseille. I'll just give you a rundown of my history so far, job history. So I started out at Aston Villa because when I started this game in real life, they didn't have a manager, so I thought I'd take them on. I did okay, finished 11th, which I thought was a pretty strong finish for Villa. Towards the end, I got approached by Marseille. I delayed the decision until the end of the season, and then I joined them. In my first season, I finished 2nd, and I won the French Cup, which was pretty good. I did finish 2nd and got them into the Champions League, which was really my aim, because when I came in, I think they'd finished 10th. And I really wanted to try and compete with PSG, because they're the big boys in France at the moment. I finished about 20 points behind them. They were in 1st, I was in 2nd, but hey, I got into the Champions League and I won a trophy. And then, as you've probably already noticed, I came 1st and won the league in the 2nd season, which was a bit surprising because I thought it would take a couple of seasons to get up there. But I smashed it. I won Manager of the Year and I won the league, which is a big achievement. Then after that, I wanted to kind of build on that success and try and bring in players that would allow me to challenge a bit strongly in the Champions League, because I did actually finish in the quarter-final. I got to the quarter-final and got knocked out by Chelsea that year. But I really want to take them, try and push them up and have them challenging for the Champions League. I brought in a lot of players, and as you can see by my finish this year, it didn't work out quite so well. I still finished 3rd and stayed in the Champions League, which was really, that's like the minimum for me, is I have to keep them in the Champions League for the money. But I did an okay job. It was a tough season, to be honest. I got knocked out in the first knockout round of the Champions League. Both this year and last year I got knocked out by Chelsea, actually. But yeah, I'll give you a look at my squad. This is the tactic that I use probably the most. As you can see, it's a very, very attacking tactic. It has its flaws for sure. It tends to commit a lot of people forward, so sometimes I can get caught out on the break. But because I'm one of the stronger teams in the league and I've got pacey wingers, I tend to favour this tactic when I'm at home against weaker teams. I have standard, if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I like to have a counter-attacking kind of tactic. This isn't how I will always try to play when I'm on the counter. But this is just like the basic that I will go into. I don't know why that sticked. This is like the basic skeleton of the tactic when I'm looking to counter that I'll begin with, and then I'll tweak it to the opposition usually. And depending on what players I have available. Sorry, I just realised I didn't show you the instructions here. I don't know why ball into the box is ticked. But these are the basic instructions I play with. More direct passing, because I like to be quick with the higher tempo. Just get the ball forward quickly and exploit the flanks, because I've got some really good wingers. And the third tactic is this one, which is a bit out there, I will admit. This isn't a set tactic that I always use. This is just... The third tactic up here is the one I mess about with the most, because I haven't really come across a third tactic I'm totally happy with. But this one gave me a good balance. I tend to find with this one that I can be quite attacking and also retain quite a lot of players back, so it's a bit more balanced than this one, but whatever. It just depends as well on what players I've got and things like that, but I'm not that happy with this one. But I find with this tactic a lot, because I've only got the 2 midfielders and only one of them is set to defend and all these guys are like way up the pitch attacking, I find that my midfield can get overrun and him and the defence can get isolated, and I find that doesn't happen as much with this tactic because you've got these 3 players here. Quite often I'll have these 2 wing backs on support, by the way, so that they're not just bombing forward constantly. But I find that with this, I retain a good amount of attacking impetus, and also these 3 come back and help the defence, which means I have a 5-man defence. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that. I'll take you through some of my players. One of my stars is this guy. He was already here when I joined, but he's come on a lot while I've been here. He's a world-class centre-back, I think, now. I'm currently training him to raise his tackling because his tackling isn't very good, but other than that, this guy's been superb for me. I mean, look at that. He's almost played every game since I've come here. Like 48 games in the season, and he's still 7.5. That's brilliant. I have a different keeper from the one that I arrived here with. When I came, Mandanda was the keeper, who's a good keeper, but he wanted out and he was complaining and being unsettled, so after 2 seasons I got rid. I splashed out on this guy. Admittedly, I paid a lot for him, but as you can see, he was good. Basically what happened is, I sold Mandanda and I brought in, where is he? This guy here. This is a young Italian keeper. He looks quite good on paper, but he wasn't very good for me. He was letting in goals all over the shop. So in January, it was a little bit of a panic buy, but I bought this guy for 23 million. And he's a good keeper, and I think it's going to work out. I've got this guy, who I got for quite cheap, actually, 10 million. My scouts reckoned he was a world-class player. I'm not utterly convinced, but he does have good anticipation, concentration, positioning and tackling. So they're the hallmarks of a good centre-back. So I'm optimistic about this guy. I noticed that the rating of him's gone down from when I bought him, but whatever. Who else have I got that's notable? I got Jordan Ibe from Liverpool. He's turning into a good player. What actually happened with him was, while I was at Aston Villa, I loaned him from Liverpool. He did well. Moved to Marseille, got him on loan again, 2 more seasons in a row, and then I saw they were trying to sell him, so I splashed the cash, 20 million for him. He hasn't been as good since I bought him, but you know what, he's a young player and he's going to turn out good. I got Babacar for 5 million, I think I got him for. Yeah, 5.75 million, and can't argue with that return. It's a good return. I'll give you a look at his stats. He's got strong stats, could use with a bit of a improvement in the mental area, but he'll get there. I got Origi as well from Liverpool. Again, he's another good buy. I mean, his stats are pretty solid there for a young player, and 20 goal return, can't complain. I got Markovic from Liverpool. Got him on the cheap. 10 million for 5 goals and 11 assists is fantastic value for money. Can't complain about him. Are there any other notable players? Ooh, I got this guy, who he's come on a bit, but he's not quite where I'd like him to be in terms of his development. But at 20, he's still a strong player. I got him for 1 million, which is an absolute bargain. As you can see, he hasn't performed for me, but every time I've sent him out on loan, he's been really good. So I reckon he'll probably still come good, but we'll see. I signed this guy because I know he can get good on some games. I signed him, splashed 7 million on him, which is a bit of a risk. But what happened was, he signed for me, he got a few games with me. As you can see down here, he scored 8 goals, which is decent enough return. Then he got injured because he broke his leg. As soon as he got back to anywhere near fitness, I sent him out on loan because I knew he wasn't going to get enough games with me. He did okay, and then he got injured again. So jury's out on him for sure. Apart from that, I've already showed you him? I don't think I have. This guy's a really good right back. I got him cheap, 5.5 million. It doesn't matter who you are in this game. If you need a right back, sign this guy for 5.5 million. He's magnificent. But yeah, I think that's most of my players. Actually, this guy is a fantastic bargain. If you look here, he's valued at 24.5 million. I got him for 2.4 million from Barcelona. Again, another option if you're low on cash and you're looking to build a good team. This guy is a magnificent buy. So as you can see, there's a bit of a mix in there. With a few players have been a bit thrifty and signed them on the cheap, and then there's players like this guy that I've really splashed out on. That's generally how I like to squad build. Is the first couple of seasons, I'll try and spend minimum amounts of cash, try and build a good general squad, and then as the seasons go on, I'll identify the weakest area and then I'll splash a big amount on improving that area. That's generally my strategy on Football Manager. But for whatever reason this season, as you can see here, it didn't really pan out. I mean, I was only 2 points away from second place, but still quite a way off first, which is disappointing after winning the league last year. A few of my players underperformed. I'm not really too confident in my centre-backs because I got this guy as well. He was meant to be the next big thing when I signed him, but he didn't perform for me. So I'm thinking I might need to bring in another centre-back this season. And a left-back as well, maybe. But yeah, so that's my squad at the moment. Like I said before, my aim is to build a squad that can challenge for the Champions League. I'm getting there. I've got some players that are probably good enough, but there's also a few players that aren't. So it might be another season or two, but we'll see how that goes. I'll also give you a look at some of the signings I made while I was at Aston Villa. They actually, after I left, they got relegated and ended up in the Championship, but they've just been promoted again. I signed this guy who, by looking at him, he's valued at 10.5 mil. He's looking like he's turning into a very competent centre-back. In fact, he's an option for me to sign this coming season, really. I signed him for less than £1 million, and he's been fantastic for Villa. So again, if you're looking to build a team on the cheap, near the start of the game, look this guy up. Solid signing. You can't go wrong with him. I mean, if you play this enough, you start to know what players are available for what at the start of the game, and you can actually build a quality side without spending more than 10 million, I think. As for the rest of these players, I didn't really sign many of these. They've actually got rid of a few that I signed. I brought this guy through, gave him a few games. He looks good to me, but he hasn't been getting much game time. He got 4 games under me, though, in the Premier League. But other than that, they've actually sold most of the players that I brought in. Let's have a look. If we go back to the first season, I didn't spend very much. Yeah, so there's Jordan Ivey. Oh yeah, I brought in this guy for 5 million. He's turned into quite a competent player. He was good for me, but they sold him for 1.3 million, so go figure. Sometimes I really hate it on this game. Well, you spend seasons building a team, and then you leave that team and move to a different team, and your original team just gets completely ripped apart by the next AI manager that comes in, which is a little soul-destroying sometimes if you've spent like 5 seasons managing a team and then you see all your work being undone. I mean, this guy to me, stats-wise, looks like a reasonably quality player for a low-level Prem side. I bought him for 105k and then they sold him without playing him, which is quite disappointing, I think. But whatever. Maybe if they kept him, they wouldn't be in the Championship. Signed this guy from Dynamo for 1.9 mil, so whatever. Make of that what you will. He's a pretty average player, but he did okay for me when I signed him. But yeah, they were my signings at Aston Villa. What else can I show you while I'm here? I guess I can show you a few winners of competitions and stuff. So let's have a look at the Premier League. Oh, what's it called on this? Premier Division, isn't it? English Premier Division. History, past winners. As you can see, Liverpool managed to win it. They managed to break the little monopoly that some of the sides have on the league, and they managed to win the league, which is a fantastic achievement. They won it under Brendan Rodgers, and then Rodgers went and moved to Barcelona, so make of that what you will. I'm a massive Rodgers fan in real life, but I don't think he'll be managing Barcelona anytime soon, to be honest. Tottenham finished second this last season, which is quite impressive. Didn't see that being on the cards. Liverpool have actually been really successful. If we look at competitions, you can see they won the Europa League in 2016-2018. They won the Super Cup in 2016, Premier League in 2016, FA Cup in 2017, Capital One Cup in 2017, runner-up in the Community Shield in 2016-2017. So they've had a good time. If we look at where's the managers? Managers, there we go. As you can see, Rodgers won the Euro Cup and Premier Division before leaving. Then successes followed. All the managers have won something there. And Rodgers is currently manager of Barcelona with 6 stats as well. I would like to point out. While we're at it, actually. Let's have a look what the La Liga's like. So, Atletico... Oh, it's gone mad, hang on. What's going on here? There we go. So, Atletico won it in 2014. Wow, that's actually incredible. They won it in... Oh, hang on, yeah, sorry, I'm confusing myself here. I was just a bit confused because it was green. Yeah, so... Yeah, since Atletico won it in 2014, it's just been the same old, same old. Let's have a look at the Champions League. So, Barcelona and Roma are about to play that today. So in a second I will skip, or I will continue rather, and we can actually see who wins. Past winners, notable is Benfica and Roma. Benfica won, which is quite unusual. It's nice to see. So let's see if Roma can beat good old Brendan. Let's continue a little bit and see what happens. Other than that, there hasn't been anything major going on. I think Raheem Sterling won the European Golden Boy a couple of times. He's gone on to become a ridiculously good player. I'll probably show you him in a minute. As you would expect, Harry Kane has become quite a good player. I'll give you a look at him in a moment. Let's see who won out of Roma and Barcelona. Where is it? Champions. Oh, it's European Champions Cup, isn't it? I always forget what the names are of the trophies on this. European Champions Cup. Barcelona won. Oh well. So what did I say I was going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to give you a look at Raheem Sterling. He's notably good. I mean, look at that. He's pretty much a superstar. Value 58 million. Sickeningly good. Sickeningly good. Who else? Forget Liverpool. Let's have a look at Chelsea. Let's have a look at Eden Hazard. He's about as good as he was already. He was already amazing. Let's have a look at Harry Kane, because in real life he's the man of the moment, isn't he? Everyone's ranting and raving about him. Yeah, see, he's fairly good. He's got a good goal return by the look of it. Decent, decent. What about Ryan Mason? I think everyone's hyping him up a bit at the moment in real life as well. He's not done as well. But anyway, I think I'll leave it there, because if I keep going on any longer, I could just go through all kinds of players and it would be very, very boring. If there's any players you want me to show you, just to see how they've developed over the 4 seasons or anything like that, then just feel free to chuck it in the comments, and I'll make a list of all the players if you want that you want to see, and then I'll do a video running through what their stats are like now. That could be fun. But anyway, apart from that, as I said before, I am aiming with Marseille at the moment to stick around with them and try and challenge for the Champions League with them. So what I'll probably do is maybe in like another 3 or 4 seasons I will upload a video and show you what has happened since this video, because before I join another club I'm going to have a shot at the Champions League, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, you can expect more tutorial videos. I will upload stuff like that. Apart from that, feel free to comment, subscribe, all the kind of usual stuff. And until then, have a good one.